I'm teaching you public company. As you guys can see, when it comes to a public company is a term that has been defined in section 2, subsection 71 of Companies Act 2013. Do you need to learn the section? As you guys are pursuing company secretary course, I would strictly recommend you to learn all the sections from day one, because when it comes to company secretary students, he is nothing more than an expert of company law, right? So you guys have to be an expert of company law. So you cannot take company law very lightly. It is the core subject. It is going to be your forte, right? Right, students, है ना? So you have to deal with company law. So try to be an expert in company law. Okay. So when it comes to public company, the term public company has been defined in section 2, subsection 71. And I have realized after so many years of teaching, many people are confused about public company and government company. Generally, people are taking it like public company is a company which is owned by government, but that is not the fact. Whenever we are talking about public company, see, the meaning of public company means a company which can accept funds from public, right? Right, students? Which can accept funds from public, which can accept investments from public. Whenever it wants, it can go public. Okay, but it is not that simple that tomorrow you will register a company and day after tomorrow you will plan to come out in front of the public and say that, oh, please put your investment in our company. That is not possible. Think about hypothetically, if tomorrow you will come out with a business plan, even your parents, brothers, sisters, sibling, relative, friends would not trust on your business ideas. So do you think that if you'll register a company and tomorrow you will come out with public offer, public will immediately invest in your company? That is not possible, right? Right, students? So it will take years of efforts to build that brand image, to build that kind of respect, to build that kind of goodwill in the marketplace. That tomorrow, if you're planning to come out with a listing process or would like to come out with initial public offer, public will show interest in investing in your company. Got my point? So whenever I'm talking about public company is nothing more than a company which can accept public funds, which may accept a public fund. If it would accept the public fund, it has came out with initial public offer and it got successful, it would become public listed company. Its securities are going to be listed over the stock exchange, that is BSE, NSE. But if I'm talking about public company, generally almost public companies are unlisted public companies, right? They haven't accepted public funds yet. Got my point? Is it clear? Is it clear? If you'll talk about companies working over here in India, no students, around 60 lakh companies are working over here in India, out of which hardly 6 to 7,000 companies are listed over the stock exchange. So you guys can understand the proportion, you can understand the ratio that out of 60 lakh company, hardly 1% company could match, even less than 1%, 0.1% company can think about getting funds from public, right? Got my point? Is it clear? Those which are listed public companies are the largest corporations working over here in India. Got my point? Jay Surya, if you cannot speak up in the class, there is no need and necessity to attend the lecture. Got my point? Is it clear, students? So, whenever I'm talking about public company is nothing more than a company which may accept public fund. If it will accept public fund, it would become what, beta? Listed public company, right? If it haven't received the public fund, it will be treated as what, beta? Unlisted public company. Got my point? Is it clear? So can you help me out with this fact, beta? Tell me, HDFC, which kind of company it is? It is listed public company or unlisted public company? Have you heard about HDFC? So it's a listed one or unlisted one? Listed one. It is one of the leading bank working over here in India. So can I say that HDFC has already taken funds from public, right? Right, students. Can you tell me Reliance is a listed company or unlisted company? Reliance is a listed company or unlisted company? It's a listed one, right? It is a leading corporation working over here in India. Tata Motor is a listed company or unlisted company? Listed one. Got my point? It has taken funds from public. Got my point? Is it clear? So whenever we are talking about public company is nothing more than a company which may be a listed public company or unlisted company. If it is a listed public company, it has accepted funds from public. If it is unlisted, it haven't received funds from public. Now, how the definition functions? See, they are saying that public company means a company. Again, I would say that as they are saying company means it's an ordinary company. A special company cannot be classified as a public company, right? Right, student. We are just talking about an ordinary company, right? Now, it is not private company. Now, we know what all three restrictions are there with the private company. Private company may shares are not freely transferable. They are restricted to be transferred. Second is it can have maximum number of 200 members. Third, it cannot go public. As they are saying that it is not a private company, can I say that there would be no restriction on transferability of shares in a public company? Can I say that its shares are freely transferable? Anybody can transfer these shares. Suppose if we five people has registered a public company, type minimum seven members are required in order to register a public company, student. So such suppose we all people along with two additional people have registered a public company, and tomorrow we want to go ahead with tomorrow I want to take an exit, and I am like, no, I'm not willing to continue in this company. Do I need to take your permission? Answer would be no. I can freely transfer it to anybody. You cannot stop me to transfer my shares, right? Got my point? Is it clear? Its shares are free means anybody can take exit from public company easily, but to take exit from private company is quite very difficult, right? Right, students, got my point? So its shares are freely transferable. There is no upper limit on the number of member. Means in a private limited company, in a public limited company, there can be thousand numbers of members, lakhs of members, crores of members. It doesn't matter. There is no upper limit on number of members, right? And third thing, it can come out public, right? It can take funds from public, but to take up funds from public is not going to be an easy task. If you have heard about Hyundai, it was year-long automobile company into cars. I think 2 years back it could dare up to come out with public offer. Okay, so it will take years to establish that kind of reputation, respect, and goodwill to come out to with initial public offer. Got my point? Is it clear? Is it clear? So repeating, the term public company is a company that has been defined in section 2, subsection 71. If I'm talking about public company is a company which is ordinary company and which is not a private company. As it is not a private company, its shares are freely transferable without any restriction, without any preemption. It has no maximum number of member ka limit. It can have a number of members. It can come out with public offer. If it would come out with public offer, initial public offer, after initial public offer, it would become listed public company. Otherwise, it will be treated as unlisted public company. If it is a listed company, we can understand that it is out of those 0.1% companies, which are the larger corporations working over here in India, which has successfully raised funds from public, right? Right, students, is it clear? And there is no minimum paid up share capital required in order to have a public company. You can have a public company with 1,000 rupees ka paid up share capital, 10,000 rupees ka paid up share capital. Why? You know the reason. Now government is running behind facilitator, becoming facilitator. Government wants to become facilitator. It does just do not want to act as a Hitler. So government is very clear that why we will put any restriction that no, you need to have 5 lakh rupees to have a public limited company. Even you can register a public limited company with any amount in your pocket, right? No minimum paid up share capital is required because government is running behind ease of doing business, right? Right, students. And last point they are saying, beta, any private company which is owned and controlled by public limited company or public company, it will become deemed to be a public company. Means suppose tomorrow Kanishka has registered a private limited company with 50 lakh rupees ka paid up share capital. Now she is finding it like very difficult to run the show, and she asked me, Rahul sir, can you take up the control of my company? Can you guide me how to run my business? Then I would say that, Kanishka, okay, I can guide only with one condition, that 51% of your voting right or 51% of your control will lies with me. Means you are going to sold out the control of your company to me. If you're okay, I can help you out, otherwise I cannot. So the moment Kanishka Private Limited will transfer its majority stake or control to me, Kanishka Limited would become my subsidiary company and I would become its holding company, means I am holding control over Kanishka Private Limited. Now, Kanishka Private Limited will not be treated as ordinary private limited company. It would deem to be a public limited company. Got my point? Is it clear? Is it clear? If you have watched Shark Tank का एक एपिसोड आया था, if you can remember, where if you know Aman Gupta, who is the founder of Boat, he has offered some headphone का company, I forgot the name of that company, that rather than taking the no, not Boat, Boat is owned by Aman Gupta. He has offered over Shark Tank India that rather than taking funds from me and get into a split, equity split, minor equity split, do one thing, sold out your company to me. So it's not nothing more than a relationship where I acquire the control of company by taking up either majority stake or by any other arrangement. If I would acquire your control now, beta, you would become what? Subsidiary company, and I would, being the holder of control, would become holding company. Got my point? So if a private company is controlled by a public company, it would become what, beta? Deemed the public company. Got my point? Is it clear? Is it clear? है ना? So I'm repeating it for the last time. Whenever I'm talking about public company, defined in section 2, subsection 71, only an ordinary company is a public company, a special company is not. A public company is a company which is not a private company, means there is no restriction on transferability of shares. It's free to transfer. Second, no maximum number of members ka limit. Third, it can come out with public offer. If it would come out with public offer successfully, it would turn up to be a listed company. Otherwise, it remains to be an unlisted company. Even a private company owned and owned or controlled, owned means invested by in public company. Controlled means by any measure. If you are controlled by a public limited company, a private limited company deemed to be a public limited company. Got my point? Is it clear? Is it clear? If you have heard about Yes Bank, now Yes Bank got insolvent long back, in I think 4 or 5 years back, and at that time government has decided that if Yes Bank could not work out, the banking sector will be disrupted, over here in India. So the control of Yes Bank has been given up to the State Bank of India. So State Bank of India haven't invested anything over Yes Bank, but still they are occupied control over Yes Bank. So I would say that they would get into a relationship of holding or subsidiary. Got my point? So it is not always required that if you want to become a holding company, you have to make investment. Sometime, even if you will acquire a control in a company, even without investment, you will get into what, bit a holding or subsidiary relationship. Got my point? Is it clear? Is it clear? है ना? So we have done with what, beta? Public limited company or public company, right? I'm putting that I'm limited because generally company में liability of member is limited, but it is not required always. Huh? We'll do it in a later stage. So now again I'm giving you 2 minutes ka time. You guys can go ahead with explanation of public company, right? Right, students, है ना? See, I have written public company का explanation. Then we'll proceed further with what? We'll proceed further with small company.